In Radiator Town, the legendary name of racing cars, Lightning McQueen, was having another ordinary day. While wandering around the colourful streets of the town, he was always excited by the liveliness and activity around him. But today, he was a little bored. Instead of moving quickly on the tracks, this time he preferred to stroll slowly through the streets. He wanted to spend some time and quietly absorb the atmosphere of the town. Along the way, he met old friends, stopped at the town's famous cafes, and chatted with local shopkeepers. Maybe this quiet day would open the door to a new adventure for him. With these thoughts, Lightning McQueen decided to go to the town library and spend some time in this beautiful place of silence and knowledge. While browsing through the shelves, a book caught his eye. The cover of the book read, "Legendary Race Cars of Radiator Town." It was a book about the best race cars the town ever had. The book immediately attracted Lightning McQueen's attention, and he took the book and began to carefully turn its pages. Each page told the story of legendary racing cars that left an important mark on the town's history. Lightning McQueen witnessed with admiration the achievements, adventures, and difficulties of the great masters of the past. The one that caught his attention the most was Starlink, a dark, grey, old classic vehicle. As he read about Starlink's life and achievements, Lightning McQueen's admiration for him increased, and he was filled with the desire to meet him. In the book, it was stated that Starlink was in one of the old garages in the town, but it was not clearly written which garage it was. Lightning McQueen and his friends began wandering the streets of the town, visiting old garages one by one, each of which had been worn out and forgotten over time. These garages bore the marks of time and were filled with memories of the town's old days. Lightning McQueen told his friends that they were determined to find Starlink, and they set out to search with them. Every time the garage door opened, they waited with curiosity to see what they would find inside. These garages bear traces of the Radiator Town from time travel and hold memories of the town's old days. As they wandered among moss-covered walls, rusted vehicle parts and dusty items, the smell of the past filled their noses with the nostalgic atmosphere of the city. While they were taking every step with excitement, they were meticulously looking into every corner of the garage, hopefully believing that they would find Starlink. And finally, they came to the garage where Starlink was and found Starlink. Starlink was a famous car that used to win races, but now it was forgotten and sitting dusty in the garage. When Lightning McQueen and his friends found this forgotten treasure inside the garage, their excitement was at its peak, and they were determined to do their best to restore Starlink to its former glory. Starlink was sad and tired after being left alone in the garage for years. Lightning McQueen offered his friendship, admiration, and support to Starlink, and instilled in him the belief that he could compete in the town again and return to the old days. The garage had now become a symbol of friendship and solidarity instead of loneliness. Lightning McQueen offered Starlink a friendly race. After thinking for a while, Starlink welcomed this offer. This friendly race between them has become an event that Radiator Town is eagerly awaiting. While the town residents were eagerly waiting for the race, the racers were completing their preparations meticulously. When race day came, Radiator Town took on a festival atmosphere. While the streets were filled with the engine sounds of racing cars, the spectators took their places in the stands. Lightning McQueen, Starlink, and other racers took their places on the racetrack for the start of the eagerly awaited race. When the race started, the streets of the town erupted into excitement, ringing with the speed and rivalry of the racing cars. While the noise of the engines created an adrenaline-filled atmosphere, the audience also shared the excitement of the race. Every corner and every straight became a stage where racers demonstrated their mastery. Lightning McQueen, Starlink, and other racers did their best to perform as the best racers in the town. Lightning McQueen and Starlink were at the forefront from the beginning of the race. They progressed by challenging each other at every bend and every straight. But the race wasn't just about speed. It was also filled with friendship and solidarity. Throughout the race, the vehicles supported each other and also enjoyed the competition. They tested their speed and skills by competing respectfully against each other. As the final bend was approached, Lightning and Starlink were still moving very close to each other. The crowd was watching the race with bated breath. The excitement of the race was at its peak as both cars rounded the last corner and accelerated towards the finish line. The audience's hearts were beating rapidly. They could not take their eyes off the magnificent performance of the vehicles for a moment. Finally, Lightning and Starlink crossed the finish line together, hand in hand. This unique moment was welcomed with enthusiasm by the townspeople. The crowd celebrated the end of the race with applause and screams of joy from the stands. Lightning McQueen, Starlink, and their friends celebrated their victory together, smiling and hugging each other with joy. The race reminded everyone of the power of friendship and solidarity. It was emphasized that the winner is not just a car, but friendship and unity. Following this special moment, a celebration was held in Town Square. Lightning, Sally, Starlink, and Marta came together after the race and celebrated with the townspeople. The townspeople participated in this celebration with enthusiasm, dancing together, laughing, having fun, and celebrating their friendship. This unforgettable day was written in golden letters in the history of the town, and the race of Lightning McQueen and his friends will always live as a source of inspiration in the heart of the town.